Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check. Mic check waifu waifu. Tellionaire, is that you?
Wait, Polo, can I see you?
This is episode 274 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. Is where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast. The After Story is where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive pre-show that we do every episode, and it goes up before this episode goes live. It's where you can get access to Take Talks and Mic Check mangas, etc. Thanks to the Patreon producers. Shout out to our guy, Ms.Servant, for coming back as a producer. We appreciate you, and congratulations on everything you got going on, and that's good now. But other Patreon producers like Christian the Archivist, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk Podcast. Make sure you check out Dad Needs to Talk Podcast. Fear, Blaze Yams, J. Lee Trey from Shogo Ha, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture, Explicitly, All for One Matt, Monique Williams, Simi Sissay, Frozen, Rob Stone, more from him later. And last but certainly not least, our guy, T Money Fingers. Oh, sorry, I heard a sound. Yeah, so for those watching the video version of the podcast, like our Patreon supporters, if you watch the pre-show, you know what's going on. But everybody else, like me, that's watching later on YouTube, yeah, my camera isn't working right now. And I believe it has something to do with either my capture card or Discord Nitro or whatever, because we use Discord to shoot this. But whatever the case may be, I'm going to be cameraless today, so Tel got to carry me on his back, per usual. You know the usual. So he going to hold it down on the video version while I'm sitting here, just a picture of, what is those masks called? Whatever they're called. Oni, there it is.
Come on, brother.
We got a very special show for you today. Very, very, very special show. We're doing something we don't normally do, and we taking a topic from my Instagram post, which kind of makes me feel yucky doing it, but I'm doing it because it's going to be a fun exercise, I think, for both of us.
I exercise enough. We good.
But before we get into that and we discuss what that topic is, Tell, how you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I finished my discrete mathematics class today. I'm good. I can't say I'm upset, but I'm chilling. I've been playing this new game, right? So you already know I've been playing Shin Megami Tensei. Mm-hmm. I love that game. First of all, that game is beautiful, and I say beautiful in terms of like mechanically. Like I'm literally in the very first mission. I've been there for like 8 hours, and it's intentional. I've been there intentionally. I'm not even level 20 yet, which I feel like I've been grinding, and I'm running into stuff that's just hard to beat. It's not easy. And when I died for the first time, they had this crazy sick like death animation. I was like, oh no, they playing with me. The way they go ahead.
I'm telling you, the surface level of Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts and the old Final Fantasies ain't got nothing on the Shin Megami series.
And I've always known that, right? And that's why when I kind of alluded and elaborated to you, like my ideal competitive, like turn-based RPG, right? Because I love Pokemon, as you already know. Of course, yeah. But I love the VGC version of that. I love what feels like esports of that when you're competing against someone else. Mm-hmm. I want that, but more Shin Megami Tensei kind of style, where I can take my Shin Megami team, whether it be like towards gear or something like that, and then push them towards somebody else's team and see who comes out on top. Yeah. I love that concept. I think it would be, and I mean, I can't even say I think it would be a hit, but I think it would be something that people would enjoy, because if you like turn-based combat and you don't want to, let's say you finish the story, but you still kind of really enjoy the game. You have something to continuously do. So yeah, I've been loving that. But also my side quest for my games at the moment, which when we get to the game podcast one day, when y'all see that,
can't wait.
The side quest I'm currently doing is Pokemon CC, which is a fan-made Pokemon 2D fighting game. So like the original Street Fighters, but it's taking strictly like fighting based Pokemon and putting them in an arena where they fight. And I love the game because it's so simple. It's literally hand drawn.
Interesting.
And what I was learning in discrete mathematics this month is literally what was implemented in some of these like fighting styles in this game. And I think it's just really cool to see it like live on the screen as I'm playing the game. So yeah, it was great.
Yo,
how about you? How's your week been, brother?
Fantastic. I got most of my stuff. The rest of my stuff should be tomorrow and Tuesday. The first, like tuxedo and accessories and all that good fun stuff for the wedding that's coming up November 7th. I'm excited about that. But yeah, it's other than that, it's great, man. Great. I'm looking forward to getting into this conversation. Mostly, and before we get into that, Tell, what was your episode of the week?
Oh my goodness, hold up.
I gotta find Discords. I didn't do that in the pre-show yet again because I was too worried about my darn camera. All right. Discords. Let's see.
My episode of the week would be
Take Your Time.
And
so anything after the 21st.
I feel like, and just hear me out, because I wanted to have this conversation. I think me saying this is my episode of the week actually facilitates me bringing up that conversation. And this is a complete curveball, and I'm saying it because this is the one that kind of stuck with me the most this week. And hear me out, outside of like ReZero and Bleach, obviously.
Yep. Caveat.
Just hear me out. This was one of the funnest episodes I feel like I've watched in anime in a very long time, outside of like being too serious. It was Dragon Ball Daima, bro.
Oh goodness. Okay.
No, you gotta hear me.
I'm listening.
I want to talk about it when we get past this. But I think it was legitimately like, if you sit down and just turned on something, it was fun to watch. It was like, and I had no expectations going in, and that could be why. I temper my expectations going in, but I feel like I was thoroughly pleased with the direction of the episode in comparison to the previous ones. The animation was great, and it was just lighthearted, like nothingness. You know what I mean? It was lighthearted nothingness with like direction still, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it felt like a oddly satisfying episode, and that's what it is. When I say episode of the week, I think that episode of Dragon Ball Daima, I think it's episode 3, was genuinely like the most fun 22 minutes of anime I've watched in a while, because I feel like when I say an anime is my episode of the week, it normally kind of gives me a little bit of stress. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Why?
Because imagine you watch ReZero and you say, how do we win?
Yeah.
That's episode of the week.
Yes.
Every trip, right?
Yeah.
But while I enjoyed watching it, was it fun? I mean, kind of in a mental exercise kind of way. But am I also slightly depressed afterwards? 100%. But Dragon Ball Daima, I didn't have that while the story's not there. You know what I mean? The story is,
but that's Dragon Ball Z. It's always like that.
It's garbaggio. But the direction of the episode, like, it did have movement. It did have explanation and deposition, and it had action. It had different setting in terms of like the world building and stuff like that. So it did a lot, especially for a Dragon Ball episode, and I thought it was fun, bro. It was fun. It was fun as fuck.
That's good to hear. I'm glad you enjoyed it. My episode of the week this week, and I'm gonna be a broken record.
No, you're not, because I agree.
So forgive me, but you are Ms.Servant, man. You Are Ms.Servant is clearly outside of the returning shows and the huge. It's the best show this season, easily. It's so good. The animation, why did they never needed to go that hard with the animation? This most recent episode when
especially with the certain scenes.
Yeah. So for instance, for just a quick example, she had to run to go get lunch. Essentially, is all I'm gonna say to that. But it was just the most visually pleasing, satisfying yet gratifying with depth of feel. It did so many creative things with the camera. It's just the best show this season by a whole lot. And while Tail was giving us that great explanation on Daima, the good thing about not having a camera on is I'm able to work while listening. But I got the Discord episode of the week this week, and the Discord episode of the week this week is actually Blue Mabaro. Now. This is going to facilitate the conversation. I love talking to Frozen about anime. It's just great. He's very articulate with what he says, and I understand everything he says so clearly because I see it, I get it, and I'm glad that he gets us too. So shout out to Frozen, one of our Patreon producers who's been rocking with us for quite a long time. But he says, man, I love the second episode. I'm rocking with the cast of characters so far, and the energy that is dialed up a lot more than the first episode. So this is what I responded to that, because for me personally, I said, I'll say the art style matches the show now because it was a little too bubbly. It was a little too bubbly for me. Mm-hmm. The thing about this show is it seems to be broken up into two parts. Now it's only episode 2, so forgive me if I may be jumping the gun here, but I can kind of foreshadow where this is going to go, right? It's going to start.
I see what you mean immediately.
Yeah. It's going to start every episode bubbly, cartoony, like Saturday morning cartoon, like the art style is of the show. And then in the second half of the show is going to be a philosophical, deeper meaning or character growth piece that is just the shit I love. That is just phenomenal. Absolutely perfect. I don't like the bubbly shit. The beginning of the second episode where all these characters were being caricatures of themselves, like of just this, it did not sit well with me because again, it just for some reason with the way this show kind of is gravitating towards the end of the last episode, it felt like it was going to be a more serious tone that kind of took place. While again, I understand it's a more adult shonen show, it seems. I don't like the cartoony bubbly piece because and let me continue on with what Frozen said because it's perfectly well said. He says, I like the shows when they have a balance of bubbly, lighthearted notes with dense, serious topics. I definitely foresee it being dark and a violent tone in the show because they're dealing with the revolution. The conversations where the young MC is learning the world and isn't just good versus evil, and you need to develop a sense of justice and morality was one point. I think it'd be on point, but it might be 1 point. I hope they go deeper into those themes. I don't want the hero versus villain and just the battle of ideals, which is where sadly I think it might go with the bubbly pieces of it. I think it's going to just be kind of that, but it's gravitating towards like being more than that.
So. And like I see that, right? What I think is because I think there's like going to be a transition, right? Like a whole transitionary phase come like halfway through the season or towards like the last quarter of it, where that bubbly part's going to get completely cut out. And I say that for the most part because of the fact that I feel like the bubbly parts are strictly like character introductions and character building. You know what I mean? And I think like that first half in the first episode was better than the first half in this episode, and I only say that because this one was a lot more bubbly in my opinion, whereas in that first episode we got a lot of like it wasn't necessarily bubbly, but it was more of that like more streamlined. We're looking at the characters, we're looking at the environment, we're trying to figure things out.
It had intent.
Right, so now we're in a different environment, and I think it has intent, but the intent is more like kind-hearted, more free even. Yeah. So it's a different environment, but I feel like as we get into the latter part of this anime specifically, it's going to start to develop into something that's just overall just more serious, and it's going to strictly be that philosophical viewpoint.
Sure,
which
yeah,
could be a huge development, right? It could be a boon. It could boost this crazy, but we have no idea.
For me, I said this in the Discord too, but I feel like it was spinning its wheels with its goofiness, because the goofiness lacked relevance, I think, personally, because it wasn't like it was they coming out individually introducing themselves. It was just a moment of which I get. Yeah, I get. It's trying to establish that there's a lack of a better term, a yin and the yang kind of situation within this show. You got this bubbly, happily moment with the boys having a good time, but then it spins into this deeper narrative of justice and morality and so on and so forth, on if you're doing the right thing or not. Like that, I get. I just hope that that's not going to be the show in its entirety, because it did that in the first episode. It was first half this, and it was those two, going to the restaurant and kind of laughing and being playful with them dark, super shonen-y lines in the show. And then they go into like this dark mode where where they were about to get kidnapped and being treated as bait. And that part was so good, because the main character's intelligence. I love the smart main characters too.
That's our thing. We do enjoy that.
Yeah, and it's 25 episodes, so I can you can kind of see where it's going to lie.
I do want to say this, not to be comparative, but I have hope for how this could go, because an anime that did something similar to this, but was a lot more, let's say, serious toned, 86. If they can shift the tone while keeping that duality in terms of like, not necessarily lighthearted, but let's say they do that yin and yang, kind of like what you were talking about. If they can keep that duality while making it a little bit more serious later on, I think actually it could land extremely well, specifically for the era that they're in. True.
All right. So I'm gonna spin to Rob's comment here from comment on the YouTube video of last week.
Hey, that's what I had next.
From this, right? The healer that was banished from what was it called? The healers who was banished. Complete garbage. It's a bad show. I don't like the show whatsoever. I think it's bad. I think it's going to continue to be bad. I don't see any redeeming qualities of it. So I'm considering removing it, but I'm going to give it one more shot. Hated this episode.
Can I say something?
Sure.
This episode was a complete read. Like you could see it from the from the beginning to the end, and then the actual end. I was like, "Oh, brother."
Yeah. It wasn't.
It's one of them.
Yeah,
it's one of them with the inner demon. No spoilers. Slight spoiler. I agree, brother, and I hate to say it, because I had high hopes for this.
And I would like to call an audible an episode of the week, because we just did that whole Blue Mabaro conversation for no reason, because that wasn't the episode of the week. I had to scroll a little bit further down in Discord. Guess what it was, Still?
What was it?
Yakuza Fiancé.
Which I want to talk about that one too.
Okay. No, you know what? I'm gonna let you talk about that one. Go ahead and say what you got to say, because I
think this is a lot better episode.
I disagree. I think this show fucking sucks. I hate it. I hate that it's my sleeper. I hate this show so very much. I do not want anything to do with this show, but I have to watch it because it's my sleeper. I fucking hate this show, Kel. I wholeheartedly hate this show. And we talked about it in Discord. What did I say? I said
episode of the week for infamous reasons.
Shout out to Discord for making it this way, because it reminded me that I wanted to have this conversation on this episode. So I said, first to start off the conversation, because I'm counting from the 22nd of October onward, I said, I honestly hate this dude, and I'm 15 minutes into the third episode, because the third episode is him just as spoilers. Who gives a fuck? I don't think anybody, I'm going to be honest, I don't think you should watch it. I don't think it's a good show. But this is my personal taste, and I'm going to explain why. In the first 15 seconds of the third episode, he's another girl. For one, I'm like, this isn't Oh, sorry, that's a little vulgar. I'm gonna put an adult fucking sign at the beginning for vulgar language. I apologize if you're listening to this with your kids, but he's just doing that, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, this isn't. Okay, maybe it's not because it's atypical, be usual romance, right? So I'm kind of tweaking out by that, but I can't stand a unserious, a liar, an unfaithful. Technically, maybe he's not a liar because he told her the truth, but this is point mute. It's just he's a shitty dude. Like, he's just a shitty douchebag. Yeah. So like, especially with the shoujo arc I just discovered recently in my anime watching career, like, I don't want to see that shit, man. I hate that. And then I'm gonna keep going real quick if you don't mind. He says, yeah, I'm halfway through the episode and I just hate him, and I think I hate the show. But I have to watch it because it's my sleeper. T Moneyfingers agree with me. He says, I haven't dropped a show since season 2 of Promised Neverland, but I'm tempted to with this one. The main character, but he said, I like the main character, which is the girl. But yeah, this dude is trash. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And then scroll down a little bit further because it goes a little bit more than that. But Crystal says, I'm glad I'm not alone in feeling this way about it. This episode specifically because of the main dude had me really ready to drop. But I've accepted that Monday is not my good day for anime with this and Nina. I fucking hate this show. I hate this show.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out when I say this. I have completely tuned that guy out. I don't know his name. I don't know what he does.
He's a fucking scumbag.
What do they say? Separate the artist from the art or something like that.
True.
I have completely isolated this man to his own corner, this anime, to where I don't even know what he's doing. You're right. I remember everything he did, everything he said. And it's like, yes, he's a horrible, horrible character. But that whole portion when we had nothing to do with him, I felt like there was so much more.
Oh my God, bro. I forgot that it happened because I was just so angry at the beginning of it. But you're right. He was gone.
So much more to the episode. He was gone. I'm just like, we got lore, we got like background to the other gangs and other characters, like heads of the community gangs and whatnot. And I'm like, yo, this is all kind of like decent information. This is all kind of dope. So I literally, and I can understand. It's almost like, you know how they say traumatic events get tuned out.
Yeah, true.
That's literally what it is, bro. Like, I don't want to see this character, and I can agree with you and everyone else who has said what they said. I just think that the other portion of this anime was decent enough to be like, I can deal with this. I can deal with this.
She is literally carrying the entire show on her back.
100%.
She's 100%. Such a good voice actress, like a great art design, just a great character all around. And then the fact that she got to deal with this loser, man, it irritates me. It irritates me to no limit because I know this guy is going to beat everybody ass. Like, it's just going to be whoever steps to him is going to get destroyed because he's a demon. But the problem is, like, I don't want him to win. I don't ever want him to win.
Think about it this way. What if the intention isn't to make him likable?
On purpose.
Intentionally make him someone you hate.
Yeah. So she could bring him down because that's the goal of her. That's what she's planning to do.
Right.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with that though is that she doesn't actually hate him.
Exactly.
And that's the issue I have with it. That's where I'm like, because like him, I feel like that's the intention of his character is for me to hate him because that's all I can feel for him is disdain. But I feel like with her hating him, I would be more all in. But that's not what we're getting necessarily yet. I hope that she's just, I hate him and want to spill his guts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're not there.
I say all that to say I can't drop it because it's my sleeper, but I hate it. And I only hate watching it specifically because of him and because of what you just touched on is the fact that she doesn't hate him. She's not going to hate him. And it's probably going to turn into some weird, unhealthy, toxic relationship that I'm not looking forward to.
It does seem like it's going to be that way.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Rob Stone because we missed his comment last week on what he was cutting. And I don't like missing Rob Stone's comments because they're always so fantastic. He's always so eloquent and nice, just like Frozen. But he says, following on from my comments last week, sorry that I missed it again. I've not cut anything, and because I've got more free time this season, so he's actually added a show called Maggie Lemire. As I've heard good things about this office comedy. It's all right, but not amazing. And then he says, Goodbye Dragon Life hasn't grabbed me. The main character is too overpowered over these first few episodes, but it's being played straight rather than for the laughs. So it comes off as boring to me. I agree with that. He says, hoping the politics picks up this week and make up for the characters. Yeah, it didn't. So everything that you said still stands true. On Goodbye Dragon Life. Goodbye Dragon Life was probably our most cut show within our community too.
Yeah.
A lot of people not feeling that one. I'm watching it. I'm still going to watch it because it's easy to watch, but it's not good. And then he says, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just patting the list, bro. It's just something I'm adding on the list to say I watched an anime this year.
An anime. Try 1,000. Then he says, Orb is my sleeper, so I'll be watching it week to week anyway. That said, maybe I have not watched enough anthology shows, but the change in MCs and perspective for several more changes in the future was refreshing. I was enamored with Rafale as you were, but I do miss him. I think we will see more of his story when we go back to the box. And he says 2 things I do like. First, it seems like the Inquisitor may be the constant through point this time, or constant through point through time. His changing attitude to the heretics will be the emotional core, I think. Second, I like taking a wider view on this from a historical viewpoint. Theories like this to decades to be accepted. That's actually a fact by the learned scholars in the church, and hundreds of years to be accepted by the populace. So it makes sense that we'll follow multiple views over time if we see the theory become widespread. See that, and I would agree with that if we wasn't already in the 15th century, right? The 15th century is when Galileo figured all that shit out, but I digress. And he says, finally, ReZero chats are almost as fun as the show itself. I've got no clue how they can fight force.
Yeah,
Slight spoilers, but how they can fight 4 arts and bishops at once. But I'm totally here for the ride.
Especially with what we saw, brother.
Oh my gosh. And then he also types, P.S. I forgot to mention, Talker, that's going up for a must watch for me. Talker is incredible.
Talker is wild.
Talker is so good. It's like 3rd or 4th this season for me. It's that good.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, but to go to the orb discussion, it's like I said, it takes place in the 15th century, around 60 something. Galileo. I hate saying his name, by the way. Was widely adopted eventually, so it's not going hundreds of years. I mean, he was still ostracized quite a bit, but I digress. Either way, it's going to that time, so. I don't know. I just, even watching this most recent episode, I'm like, it's cool. But I kind of see where we was kind of spot on with what we're saying. It's going to be they're probably going to keep doing this passing of the torch thing until we get to the point where it's accepted. It's cool.
Like Rob Stone said, it makes sense in the grand scheme of things, but it's also like, it feels like we're going to stay disconnected from the characters, which is going to make us a little disconnected from the story as well. Yeah. Like we're passing the torch constantly. We don't have a sense of homeostasis, which if that Inquisitor becomes that for, let's say, a few decades, that's one thing. But also, let's be real, in the 1500s, what was the average lifespan? Like 40 years at the most?
Yeah.
So we only got like 10 more years, brother.
Yeah. And then with your through line being the Inquisitor, why would you want it to be told? I guess for his eventual turn, maybe he has a turn, maybe he doesn't. Irrelevant. I still don't want to root for him. He's the bad guy, So I don't know. It's again, with my love of history and astrology and just, I want cool, interesting characters. Not necessarily a show telling me about the history and the science of some shit that I already know, I guess.
And just for more statistical context, the average lifespan remained under or around the age of 40 all the way up until the 1800s. So yeah, so
sad. We only got 10 years left till.
Brother, no, we got at least 50 more.
Now, yeah. Anyway, thank you for that, Robstone. I appreciate that. A lot of great stuff there. All right, ready for the tots, Till?
Let's do it.
Topic of the show. So what came up with this idea, we was gonna do it last week, but we discussed a lot last week. But it's from an Instagram post. The source is called Anisauce. Now I don't know them at all, and it doesn't really matter. But they just did something that I think was cool that we are going to steal and borrow and then use and create our own. But they did the best anime from every year from 2010 to 2023, but we're going to go up to the 2023. So I said this in the general chat of Discord, but I'm like, I know people are going to be frustrated with what we choose and compared to what this list is or compared to what other people may feel, but we're going to try to do an objective pick that we think that has the biggest impact that year. And then we're going to do a subjective pick, which is whatever our favorite one was of that year. So we hope that you understand that, but it's going to be hard for me to be objective here because I can't. It's hard. It's just hard for me too, because my thoughts are just my thoughts and it's how I feel. And I know it's like, anyway, again, let me remind you that we don't get on Twitter anymore at all. We don't really talk to many other people outside of ourselves about anime or our community. So, don't think of us as the contrarians. We just saying what we feel. Okay. Yeah. So just a little caveat with that. All right, let's get to it.
We don't have context.
We don't exactly. Context is lost with us because of the way we kind of view stuff now in our own bubbles. So keep that in mind when you listen to us speak. Every time we do something like that's a popular, we actually get a dislike on our YouTube video, which is nice. I'm not gonna lie.
It'd be like that.
I'm okay with that. Like, that means somebody's watching and they're not just watching and liking us for, no reason. Anyway, all right, sorry. Let's get started. Tail got a little head start. I did not. Even though this is the topic I pulled up with, I did not have an idea of what is what. So starting from 2010, Tail, let's start with theirs. So Anisauce's anime of the year in 2010 was Angel Beats. 2010 was a very interesting year. What did you say during the pre-show? Was it
it's a polo ass year.
Yeah. And it's a lot of stuff that I watched of this year. A lot of nonsense too, though.
Yeah.
Angel Beats. Now, Tel hasn't seen Angel Beats. I think you tried and then stopped at one point, which is unheard of. So he can't stop the cap. He can't really speak on it per se, but I did watch Angel Beats, and for it to be 2010's anime of the year, objectively, I can see why, and I can agree with it. Mm-hmm. Objectively, I can, because 2010, while it had a lot of stuff, it was mostly like Cry and Ladies versus Butler and like a lot of ecchi. Evan's Lost Property. Like, I watched that, of course, because that was when I was going through that phase of my life. Kiss Kiss, like, it had a lot of like just tasteless stuff in 2010.
High School of the Dead was there.
High School of the Dead, yeah. The World Only God Knows was actually one that I watched that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. But I will say I agree with Angel Beats probably being the best one of that year.
So I would say, so hear me out. I don't think I heard of Angel Beats in 2010. So I feel like going back through my own personal recollection, I don't have that one.
Yeah, of course.
To stay.
You haven't watched it, yeah.
I feel like that year, what I heard the most about was between High School of the Dead and Unlimited Blade Works, the movie. Are we counting movies, or are we gonna just do strictly anime?
You can do whatever you want. It's your show.
I would say I heard the most buzz around High School of the Dead that year, and or actually, that's not true. It would probably be Do Ra Ra Ra, which that is one that I completed, but you know, it's not necessarily in my top 100.
Damn, you didn't even have to go that far.
But I do think that a major consensus of people enjoyed that.
Top 100? I was expecting you to say top 20 or 30 or something. You said top 100 is crazy.
I didn't enjoy it, so I mean,
yeah, facts. I guess, yeah. So I mean, all right. What about subjectively? What was your favorite of 2010 that year?
Subjectively, I'm going Unlimited Blade Works, 100%.
Yeah, for me, subjectively, and it might sound crazy because I did love Angel Beats, and I do get why it was that year's top because it was very, very emotional. But I'm gonna go with May-sama. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. A very good comedy series. It was when he was doing 26 episodes, like it was nothing. I liked it. I liked it a lot. All right. 2011. 2011 is Hunter x Hunter. Was their anime of the year. Yeah, okay. I'm going to tell you now that's wrong. Objectively, I think I get it. I don't know how to speak about this objectively because I think Hunter x Hunter is good. We always say Hunter x Hunter is good. We don't say that it's bad. Mm-hmm. It's just a show full of moments that are, not as interesting as other stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of drawn out moments there as well. Yeah, exactly.
For me, objectively, I think the best show of 2011 was Steins Gate. And there's no, I don't even have to second guess that, even though there's a lot of great stuff that I did see of this year too. But Steins Gate, to me, was so unique in its storytelling with the psychological time travel, and the way they did time travel was believable in a sense. It wasn't even like, yes, it's anime-fied, but it was anime-fied in a way that is believable, which makes it wholeheartedly very, very enjoyable. And funny enough, it has the same rating as Hunter x Hunter in 2011. Objectively and subjectively, I'm gonna just give you spoilers. That's both my subjective and objective pick, Steins Gate. Dude, I watched so much in 2011 too. Dead Man Wonderland.
If I'm being as objective as possible, I'm probably gonna say, objective. That sucks. Objective, I'm probably gonna say Steins Gate because 140 episodes. You can't even do that in a whole year. So
that's a fact. So it's probably like virtually the first arc.
I'm gonna go with Steins Gate, but if I go subjectively, it's Fate Zero. And I'm saying that for me, it's a wash if I'm doing it objectively because I absolutely love Fate Zero. And it's not to say take anything away from Steins Gate because I learned to love Steins Gate and I love everything about it now. Yeah. But Fate Zero has etched a place into my heart, specifically that Fate Zero. Yeah, ain't nothing like it.
And to be honest, that Fate Zero is my favorite. I'm gonna keep it real. So
yeah,
my favorite story.
Iskander is literally a part of my son's name because of Fate. So.
It's incredible. It's incredible. All right. So 2012, their pick is Psycho-Pass.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not a bad pick, actually. Objectively, I'm gonna have to go with Sword Art Online.
Yeah,
even though it's widely hated, I still think the impact that it had on the anime community and Adult Swim in itself was massive. Like I remember when it came on Adult Swim, that was before I was even deep into anime because I was too busy party promoting and shaking my ass. But like, I think Sword Art had the biggest impact objectively out of everything. Now, Psycho-Pass was just great. It was really, really good.
I feel like, and this is, I don't know how you gonna take this, but I feel like as something that felt relatively fresh at that time, Psycho-Pass to me, subjectively, I would say I enjoy it. But I will also say this. For the year 2012, Sword Art Online refreshed a lot for me. So I think objectively, Sword Art Online was the most watched anime of 2012.
Yeah. And I guess we have to think about this as being called the best, right? Was it the best?
I can't say it was. I can't say it was.
Me either. So I guess we kind of taking this and we're kind of spinning this on to like impactful of that year. So maybe I should have clarified that at the beginning of this, but whatever.
But then you also, and I'm just gonna, because I know Polo not gonna like it, Kuroko's Basketball, which also for me, I highly enjoyed that was a first time sports anime for me. Mm-hmm. And that really took me over the edge. Like, and I think I did watch Hajime no Ippo before this, but either way, it really took me up. Like, I was like, yo, that was a whole different experience I wasn't expecting. But I think if I got to go objectively, I'm picking Sword Art because I feel like it just had a whole package that a lot of anime could not deliver and relay that same kind of message in. Subjectively, I think I'm still going with Sword Art
as your favorite. Interesting.
Just because of the medium, what it is. Yeah. It's something that I truly love. Like the actual type of it, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's specifically about a scenario that outside of like Log Horizon or Dot Hack, you don't really see much of anything like that, or so I feel like that was easy. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so Sword Art is the reason why. So first, obviously, it was first Dot Hack. Dot Hack did all that shit, and then Sword Art came and completely mainstreamified this particular genre, and it became as popular as it is now. So, I would say objectively, impact. Sword Art had the biggest impact on the year 2012. But this is the list that's the best. And to say that it's the best in 2012 is hard for me only because Toyota is right there. And what a fantastic slice of life romance mystery show that was. That's by the same creators that made How to Become Ordinary. So it's literally that vibe, but in a different way. Mm-hmm. I think even Kokoro Connect is there too. That was also a fantastic show. I think like anime wise, beat to beat, front to back, Hoyoka was the best of 2012. And I could say that with my whole chest, even though my favorite is Sword Art of that year. Yeah. All right, moving on to 2013 was Attack on Titan. I'm not even mad at that. But I can
2013 has a hard one to compete with.
Well, no, it's not. Because My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu came out that year. So I get it. Now, objectively and impact wise, Attack on Titan was the right choice. Okay, it is the right choice. My biases aside, that is the correct choice. I'm not mad at that. However, even still, I would say it still was the best of that year. Impact wise, that is. But like, come on, man. My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu is incredible.
So that's why the bias part is so hard, because I could almost say, and this is just a personal opinion, I could probably say Monogatari for me all the time.
Oh my God, Golden Time too? Nah, man. Nah, yeah. I'm sorry. Dude, Golden Time was incredible.
Yeah, that is one of your favorites.
This is tough because the season 1 of Attack on Titan, I can never discount that because of even for me, the impact and the show itself was incredible. Wit did their fucking thing. It looked beautiful. The story being told was crazy. I have to put it in perspective. I have to compartmentalize. I have to compartmentalize.
Kicked off with a bang.
Yeah. I have to compartmentalize the first season and the first season for what the first season is and was. And fuck, man. But my teen romantic comedy Snafu season 1 compared to that. Shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because and this is still thinking objectively. Objectively, I think Attack on Titan, it has to be the one, impact wise, and just influence, I guess.
Yeah,
it was the best. However, my favorite, this is tough because Snafu and Golden Time. Now, does Snafu have my favorite scene in it in season 1, or is it season 2? My favorite scene is when how can I do this without spoiling it? It's when Hikigaya is expressing himself to the two friends.
End of the season.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, probably season 1 of My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu is going to be my anime of the year that year. Even though Golden Time is just that incredible. It's just that good. That's a hard year to compete with because Long Horizon's there.
Yeah.
The Golden Words, even though that's a movie, I love that movie. It's a lot of great shit in 2013.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's some stuff that's heat, and I didn't even get to finish all the stuff that I did watch that year. At least updating on my list.
Can't believe I watched
My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu first season was not my favorite of the series. Although I think that it was a lot better after watching the second season or beginning the second season. I feel like I'm gonna stay on Attack on Titan for that one.
Really? Oh yeah, you never seen Golden Time?
Yeah, I never saw Golden Time, brother.
So I can't. All right, 2014, Your Lie in April.
Okay.
Looking at this list, I mean, yeah. Yeah. I don't really see, Haikyuu, but objectively and impact wise, Your Lie in April, yes. That's the one. Okay. Subjectively. Oh, Noragami's right there subjectively, though. Parasite the Maximum is there. But in my opinion, subjectively, I'll have to go with Fairy Tail Series 2. No, I was kidding.
Brother.
No, I'm gonna still go with Your Lie in April.
There's a lot for me this year that I watched that I personally like. It hit a spot in my heart.
Yeah, this is Tell last year.
Because Your Lie in April, Polo put me on, and I did love it, but it wasn't a tearjerker for me.
It's impossible. That's so crazy. But
then we had Noragami, Parasite the Maximum, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, Psycho-Pass 2, and another favorite of mine that I know Polo did not watch, Gundam Build Fighters Try, which was my favorite of the Gundam Build Fighters.
Autonoa Zero is better.
Then Gundam Build Fighters Try, possibly, but it was an anime that literally stuck in my life. I'm taking No Game No Life off the list because no.
You love that show. What are you talking about?
I do. I love it, but it's over the time it's become more and more disgusting to me.
Yeah, I get it.
So objectively, I'm probably going to say Your Lie in April, or like most watch would probably end up being something like Haikyuu. which actually Haikyuu is fucking insane.
It's incredible.
Season 1 of Haikyuu. I'm gonna go objectively Haikyuu. Subjectively, it's Noragami. I fucking love Yato.
Yeah.
It's hard.
In 2015, One Punch Man. Yeah, the fuck right. One Punch Man.
Hey.
Now, I just clicked to 2015. This year better be fucking awful. No, it's not. What are you talking about? Okay, never mind. This is their list. Let me relax. Just what? Ain't no way.
No, that's insane. That's
insane, ain't it?
There's a whole oh my goodness.
I'm not even going to count second seasons of stuff. So if you don't even do that,
Owari Monogatari. No second seasons.
No second seasons. So like, even just the top, like Charlotte is right there. Charlotte is fantastic. It's so good.
I actually think I liked God Eater more than One Punch that season too.
That's crazy.
Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blood Orphans.
Good. Okay, so objectively, and this is me being honest, so I think Overlord is the winner here. It was, maybe that's a little bit subjective too, and there's a little bit bias going on in there, but yeah, I think Overlord did the isekai in a unique way that is very, very special. Subjectively, I'm gonna go to Overlord as well because I fucking love Overlord. I love the lore, I love the world, I love the characters, I love the voice acting, I love it all. So there's my answers for both.
Now, hear me out when I say this, and I could be wrong because there was a movie that Polo and I went to see together, along with other friends. Now, objectively,
where are you going with this? Help me out here.
I think Dragon Ball Resurrection F.
Okay.
Was one of the most impactful things to happen that year.
Nah, but I get where you're going with that because that was a good time. That was a lot of fun.
I think it was one of the most impactful things to happen that year. Easily, in my opinion. Now, subjectively though, and hear me out, because while I am going to say I think Overlord is the best though. Overlord is the best. I agree with you there. No questions asked. I'm going to say I'm choosing this because I think people just need to watch it. Chivalry of a Failed Knight. It had my heart for the longest time.
Definitely subjective because go ahead.
Yeah. I'm saying Chivalry of a Failed Knight was one of those anime that I could not give up, and I rewatched it literally time after time after time. So
we even did a review on it.
It was literally one of my all-time favorites. It's not on my top 20 anymore, but it's still one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, I get it. Chivalry of a Failed Knight is a good polo and like the definition of a polo and tail ass anime. However, I can't. It's hard for me to even call it good. For me, it's great, but I know I can't be like, yo, this show is so good, you should watch it to people. I just can't do it.
It's one of those shows where you can show someone a moment and they're like, what the fuck is that? How did I miss that? And then they watch the whole thing and they're like, oh, it was okay.
It's okay. Yeah, that's exactly right. But to us, it's great. I'm going to just keep it real.
Yeah.
Now, 2016 is probably the toughest year because there's a lot of fantastic shit. 2016, and I can't even say they're wrong here. Actually, no, they're not wrong. This is probably the only year in the year after they got right. 2016, ReZero is what they have. 2016 for me objectively, ReZero. 2016 for me subjectively, ReZero. However, My Hero Academia came out. Your Name came out. A Silent Voice came out. Mob Psycho, Erased, Bungo Stray Dogs, Real Life.
Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash.
Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. We can't keep going to Monogatari though because that's a continuation. Yeah, a lot of 2016 was probably one of the best years of anime ever.
Point Star Exorcist, one of the worst anime to exist.
Yeah, no, Orange was incredible. Very sad.
I'm just gonna say this. ReZero objectively and subjectively.
Yeah.
No. There's no comparison. I apologize for the rest of the year because there was definitely some great stuff this year. Mm-hmm. And Polo put me onto a Silent Voice.
Oh, tears.
That anime made me cry.
Beat my ass. Me and Multi-Purpose was just talking about that.
That was one of the best anime movies I feel like I've watched that I would be willing to run. I'm running that one back.
Yeah.
But ReZero made me cry that year as well.
Tears, bro.
So, c'est la vie.
And both.
Yeah, brother. ReZero objectively, subjectively is the best.
2017 is another one they got right, I think, in my personal opinion. Made in Abyss. Objectively, yeah. Made in Abyss impact was huge. Unfortunately, you have Black Clover, so I'm saying Black Clover for you fucking Black Clover fans. No insult to you, but the show fucking sucks. But I'm gonna say it. It was there in 2017. But you also have Attack on Titan season 2, another great season. Kakaguri, I like. Classroom of the Elite, one of my favorite shows. Unlike Tale, I enjoy season 1. Even Ancient Magnus Bride, but Masamune-kun's Revenge was one of my favorites that year. Absolutely love Masamune-kun's Revenge.
Masamune-kun's Revenge was insane.
It was so good. Even though I got a 65 on it. Scum's Wish came out and did better than Masamune-kun. Yeah, that's just hate. Masamune-kun's Revenge is just hate. How does Scum's Wish get it? Okay, anyway. But subjectively, objectively, in all of the objectives, Made in Abyss is the correct answer.
Yeah, that's no difficulty there.
Yeah, no difficulty.
Made in Abyss is still resonates in my heart to this day, but for multiple reasons: the story, the characters, the fucking audio design. Like, how do they do it, bro? It's so immersive in every regard of the show.
I think I'm gonna put a Made in Abyss cover in the break.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's so immersive in literally every regard of the show that they chose the right answer.
This is a great one. 2018, this is a pretty good choice too, and I'm not mad at it. But actually it might even be the right answer, but 2018, Violet Evergarden.
Not Darling in the Franxx.
Get the fuck out of here. Now, did we start? We started in 2019, didn't we?
Yes.
So 2018, Violet Evergarden, but Darling in the Franxx, Reincarnated as a Slime actually came out. Oh my God, the movie I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, so good. So good.
Banana Fish.
I hate that show. Tokyo Ghoul Re. This was a terrible year, actually. I mean, you got Overlord.
Angel of Death.
You got, that was a terrible, terrible show. You got Sword Art Alicization, Overlord 2 and Overlord 3. So that, okay.
Alicization was good.
Yeah, it was, but we're not counting other seasons, so that can't count. Steins Gate Zero was there. It wasn't that bad of a year in 2008 or 2018. Sorry. For me personally, though, you know what? I'm gonna go with Violet Evergarden too. I enjoyed that. Objectively, I think objectively though, Reincarnated as a Slime should have been the one. Subjectively, for me personally, I'm agreeing with them with Violet Evergarden because it was also sad and beautiful and almost perfect, actually.
Sheesh. Man. This is kind of hard, bro.
Come on, give me something.
I'm going to go with Violet Evergarden was a good choice. I think I'm going to also go with Violet Evergarden because nothing else here, I feel like emotionally at least, sits with that and resonated with me quite the same. Everything else was kind of like either continuations or something. Yeah. Well, Reincarnated as a Slime was also really good, but I feel overall, as in terms of like what I would even get like emotional impact wise, Violet Evergarden takes it.
Yeah, not a bad choice.
I'm gonna go with that one as well.
2019 is when Mic Check Waifu started. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway. Their choice, English. Their choice is Vinland Saga. What was our anime of the year that year? Because we already got one.
It was probably Fire Force.
No, our anime of the year. I don't think it was Fire Force. Well, it could have been. I think it probably should have been. What was our anime of the year that year?
Oh, Astro Lost in Space. Are you serious?
Okay, never mind. There it is. Astro Lost in Space. So I mean, we already got that answer. So it's kind of mute for us to go continue on with what we choose objectively.
Yeah.
So objectively, Astro Lost in Space. Subjectively, what was your favorite show that year? Was it Astro Lost in Space?
Yes.
In the totality of it?
Well, hold on.
Yeah, looking at here.
Cause let me see.
Oh, Orisuke, Bench Kun. Shout out to Bench Kun. Yeah, no, and it's in a year of its totality. I'm gonna have to go with Astro too. Yeah, easy. But they did have, Domestic Girlfriend, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Dr. Stone.
B-Stars. They had B-Stars.
Fire Force. Fruits Basket 2019, but that's a recreation of 2016, I think.
Yeah. Also, that first season of Quintessential Quintuplets.
Incredible.
Which actually was amazing for me. I didn't watch it that year though, sadly. But Astro Lost in Space, 100%. Yeah. That's what I'm rolling. I'm rolling with that one.
Same. 2020. This is where it gets rather predictable. 2020. Jujutsu Kaisen. Can't say I'm surprised by that. Now, this is where we kind of have to choose different. Our anime of the year in 2020 was actually ReZero Season 2. So because we are not keeping season 2s, we got to choose something new. Objectively, I get it. I get Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not mad at them choosing that.
I know what you're picking.
What am I picking objectively?
Honeycow Over the Moon.
Ooh. Yeah, I think you're right. That shit was fucking incredible. Hold on. Yeah, you're right. Since I can't pick ReZero, obvious. Ooh, Sing Yesterday for me was real good. Shout out to Fear. I think Fear was the reason why I watched Sing Yesterday for me. But yeah, no, Tony Cow Over the Moon was definitely a subjective favorite pick that year. And it's not ReZero.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Somebody in the forest.
So objectively, do you agree with Jujutsu Kaisen? Blah.
I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen gave us a lot of good stuff that year. It was fresh, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I definitely would choose that over God of High School, but actually,
I would hope so.
Actually, and this could be. I know a lot of people probably won't necessarily agree with this, but I really enjoyed season 2 of Fire Force over almost everything else. Mm-hmm. I know I enjoyed that over Jujutsu Kaisen. Mm-hmm. And I really don't care what other people think about that. So
I agree with you.
I think objectively, if I'm looking at overall the quality of it, I'm probably going to say Fire Force season 2. Subjectively, though, I mean, I'm not going to say ReZero because we already did that, but
of course, yeah.
Sheesh, brother. I'm gonna go with My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu Climax. Mm-hmm. That was peak.
Yeah, true, 100%. 2021, what they chose, I completely understand and could possibly agree with it if it wasn't for this other thing that came out that we're going to probably both choose because it was our anime of the year that year. But 2021 was Mushoku Tensei, aka Jobless Reincarnation. Great choice. Great choice for them. Good job out of y'all. I'm proud of you for that. But objectively, 86 was better.
Subjectively, 86 is also better.
You answer for us both.
I mean, and that was a tough year though, because they also had Vivi, they had Blue Period,
Horimiya.
Yeah, Horimiya. They had a lot of
Can't
stuff.
communicate. Like Quintessential Quintuplets 2 was fantastic. Oh my god! The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated. What an incredible isekai that was.
Link Click was there.
Mm-hmm.
Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy.
Oh my god! What a year! Bottom tier character Tomazaki.
Howard Real Hero rebuilt the kingdom. There's a lot of
my
good stuff
goodness!
man.
Absolutely, Girlfriend was a great comedy.
Oh, Remake Our Life was there.
Remake Our Life was also there.
Oh, it was some good stuff that year.
Yeah. Wait, was 2021 the best? It might have been the best.
Year was
because we had the second half of season 2 of ReZero too. Oh my
Saints
god!
Magic Powers Omnipotent.
Yeah, Haji Hero, the case study of Adidas. Ranking of Kings was very popular. People love that, even though I wasn't that much of a fan. It was good though. It was good. Taxi, come on.
They also did have X-Arm
and Platinum In. And Egg Priority, Egg Wonder Priority. Wow, it looked pretty. It was a terrible show. All right. What a year 2021 was. I think that might have been the best year ever.
That was crazy, bro. That was just a mind shock.
Yeah, it was. 2022. I don't know why this is wrong. They got, for 2022, they got Kaguya-sama Love is War. That's like the second season. Or the third season. Might have been the second season. Yeah, it's the second season. Anyway, but you got Kaguya-sama Love is War. We obviously don't agree with that. But what a year this was too. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they didn't pick Chainsaw Man. I was just expecting that to be there for 2022, but it's not. For me personally, objectively, I feel like it should be Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Objectively.
Ooh.
My personal favorite is tough because there's two that I'm looking at here that could be my personal favorites. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go with My Dress Up Darling.
I think I agree with Cyberpunk Edge Runner. But I'm gonna go with like kind of a little bit of a curveball here.
Your personal
because objectively I'm going Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Okay.
But subjectively, I think one of the ones I enjoyed the most that year, without going like spinning back to something else, was like Parallel World Pharmacy. No, Summertime Rendering.
I was just about to say that our anime of the year was Summertime Rendering that year.
Yeah, Summertime Rendering. Sorry.
Yeah, so take away everything we said about objective. Summertime Rendering is the best show of that year. Easily. They're not even close, funny enough. But subjectively, while Summertime Rendering is subjectively probably my favorite of that year, since it was our anime of the year, I love Dress Up Darling, man. I really did.
It was nice.
Very, very nice. Cloverworks did their thing. And Overlord 4, Comey 2. Jesus, this is another great year. More Than a Married Couple came out the same year as My Dress Up Darling. How insane is that? Gosh, that's insane. What a good year that was. And then last, but certainly not least, 2023, and this is easy, objectively, subjectively, and what they chose was Frieren. That is the correct answer.
That's the only answer.
Yeah. However, 2023 was an incredible year. While Frieren was our animated year, you had Oshinoko, Hell's Paradise, Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Villain Saga Season 2. Got better at the end there. That kind of flipped it on its head. Apothecary Diaries.
Ragnar Crimson.
Toma-chan is a Girl was a great show. Was a shocking, that one surprised the hell out of both of us.
Yeah.
Angel Next Door spoils me rotten. The Dangers in My Heart. Oh my gosh. Near Automata. Skipping Loafer was incredible. That year was pretty good. Insomniacs After School.
Oh yeah. Insomniacs After School was crazy.
So good. Last year was phenomenal. But yeah. And that's it. That is the end of from 2010. That took a long time to do, longer than I thought. To 2023. Now, tell Curveball, what would you make your anime of the year in 2024? As of right at this point, what would have been your favorite show?
Let's take a look at this list really quick.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say that we should allow second seasons that are complete, because if anything, we're going to choose ReZero. But let's choose something that's complete.
Goodness gracious, there's a lot that I've watched.
A lot of good shit too.
That was good. That was really good. That was surprisingly good too.
God, this 7-time loop, Days with My Stepsister. There's just so many that could be it right now. But then you got you scroll up and you got season 2 of Mushoku Tensei. Season. Oh wait, is that the second part? That's just the second part, ain't it? Yeah, so that's don't count. Thank God. Okay. Oshinoko season 2. Alia sometimes has her feelings. Story, it was fantastic. Windbreaker right there. Jesus, bro.
Brother, hold on.
Makane. Dangers of My Heart season 2. If I had to choose right now, obviously before ReZero is completed, I'm going to choose Reincarnated as an Aristocrat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of great stuff though.
Reincarnated as Aristocrat. Sheesh, brother. All right. Looking at everything that we have, and I don't want to draw any ire or judgment for this, but I don't care. Season 2, part 2 of Jobless Reincarnation.
Interesting. I did say you could.
That, to me, it just has so much like drawn into that, especially leading up from what we already had, bro.
Yeah. It was the only reason why I didn't choose it is because it's a part 2 of a season 2. So it was like season 2 started in 2023, so that's why I didn't count it. But I understand you.
I could have said Ninja Kamui.
That would have been horrible on your part. I'm on.
For sure. Goodness gracious. But there's a lot of good stuff this year already. Like, I'm still thinking about I was reincarnated as a 7 Prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. There's a lot of really good stuff. Failure frame.
A lot of great stuff, man. A lot of great stuff. Hard to choose. But I'm going to go with Reincarnated as Aristocrat, because that has so much of an emotional impact for me in that season 1 that in this season 2 that started. So it's kind of tough to even go against that right now. Obviously, we're not counting the stuff that's not done yet. And ReZero, we're going to have a conversation about, because the next part of it after these first 8 episodes is next year. So you can't categorize that as this season at that point, but I digress. Anyway, let's get to know Mike Check Mike Fu.
There's a lot of hard stuff to choose, man. I'm still looking at that list. That list is crazy.
It's insane. All right, it's my turn to roll a random number generator. It's Tayl's turn to read the question associated with that number so you can get to know us as host. The number this time is 23. LeBron James.
What is your favorite anime studio?
Ooh, what a great question. Okay, chatbot. This is tough because it changes a lot. It changes between, and I'm gonna just cheat here. It changes between Madhouse, Cloverworks, and A1. And Cloverworks is kind of cheating because Cloverworks and Wit are closely together, and those two are my favorites too. But they always work hand in hand in a lot of scenarios. So between Madhouse, Cloverworks, and what did I say? A1.
Yeah. Let me see here. Just checking out some things really quick. And then I will give you my definitive answer.
You seeing who did what? Name the show. I could probably tell you.
I'm going to choose Studio Shaft.
Shaft.
Mm-hmm. They did Zom 100.
Oh, no, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
And then all of the Monogatari series.
They didn't do, yeah. Wow. That's your favorite studio?
I'm just thinking about when I think about a full package.
Yeah. That's why I'm concerned.
I feel like when I'm talking about, I'm literally just viewing something. I don't feel like I have a viewing experience that is as enjoyable if I just sit down and I don't have nothing else going on as like any of the Monogatari series that I've watched. I feel like they give you the perfect framing, perfect audio, everything like that. So
I disagree. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm saying
they're great though. They're great. But nah. If you're talking, Madhouse is better in both of those than Shaft is.
I mean, I could say like Ufotable because I feel like Ufotable gives me consistent greatness too, but that's not specifically one I want to go with that.
I forgot about Ufotable. What the fuck?
I could easily choose them, but I feel like that's obviously an obvious answer.
You got to go with the artsy fartsy one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
Yeah, but I'm choosing. I'm talking about what I actually, when I turn on something, what it looks like, and that's what I 100% enjoy.
I get that. Yeah, with that. I get that. JC Stavis is pretty whack. Anyway, yeah, let's take this quick break to this. Hopefully, we're gonna definitely get blown back if I use this cover of this Made in Abyss song, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Enjoy this Made in Abyss tune, and we'll be right back after these.
See
And welcome Black to 274 with Mic Check Waifu. Polo here with Tel De Leon. How you feeling, man? You ready?
I'm back.
That first half was long, so we are going to do 2 spoilers this week. ReZero and Bleach Talk. Starting off with ReZero. I got a lot to say about Bleach Talk. I'm just to say that now. But ReZero. Starting off with ReZero. Fucking goodness, bro. How does my mind instantly goes, this is just so much going on. Like, it's a lot to handle. It's rough.
Yeah, it is a lot to handle, but it's also
in the best way possible.
It's expected in terms of like, it's gonna be a lot to handle.
Okay, hear me out though. Expected? No. Because who expected it to pop off this much this fast? That's
not what I mean.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying though. I'm saying it in terms of, yes, you expect stuff to pop off in ReZero because it's ReZero. It's been like that forever.
Right.
But do you expect it to pop off this soon? No.
No. This was definitely wild.
Yeah.
This is definitely a bag of wildness. I can't lie to you.
Yeah. It's a lot.
So where do we start, bro?
Okay.
We're in the council, the meeting.
Mm-hmm. And they set up a plan, which was a great plan. Like the way they working together, I absolutely love seeing the way Subaru and this little merry band of other contestants for the throne kind of come together and work together to stop these Sin Archbishops.
Right.
Even with that,
it don't matter.
It don't fucking matter, bro. Because for one, you took Reinhardt out the game. And of course they would. You have to. Like, right? Like, you can't bring Reinhardt into any fight unless he's fighting everybody by himself. Because like we talked about last week, him sucking up magic from everybody would do them no good. So I mean, you got to take him out the game. But the way they did it was clean by kidnapping Felt. Felt was I think an ingenious plan for them to do.
Yeah, he's the ultimate 1v1. So he's the ultimate 1v almost anything, right?
Yeah. He could probably put them all on, to be honest.
Like you said, removing the king or the queen from the board, because technically, queen be doing her thing. Mm-hmm. Removing the strongest piece from the board is the best way to go. But it's not only that, you know what I mean? It's the entirety of the situation that unfolds almost immediately after we leave out the council room. Because we see Garfield.
Yeah.
And the other little homie
Mimi.
Come through. Mimi.
Or was it? Yeah, it was Mimi. It was
Mimi. And she got a slash through her body. Garfield freaking out.
Yeah.
They give us a run back on that. And they run into 2 cloaked witches cult people. One with like 12 arms. That's an exaggeration, but it's really like 8 arms.
I was about to say it's not though.
it's like 6 or 8 arms, right? Yeah. It's in between there somewhere. And then another one who's just like basically the master swordsman, without the special name and ability to suck up all the mana around them. And Garfield had to run. Yeah. Garfield was full of fear. Now, granted, we know that subconsciously Garfield is having problems. We know that he's dealing with what's her name?
Elsa.
He's dealing with Elsa in his head. When do you think that's gonna cease, bro?
I don't think it is gonna cease. I think it's, again, I still think my theory is that I still think that she turned him into like some kind of vampire part thing that we don't really know anything about. But like, I don't think it is until he comes to grips with the fact that she's going to be there. If he comes to grips that she's going to be there and maybe work through this PTSD that he got going on.
Yeah.
I don't see it subsiding at all.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking though, because it's like it's causing him to not think, which Garfield never was good at doing anyway. Like, he just did what he thought was the best thing to do at that particular moment. So when you have somebody like that, unpredictable, is dangerous. Very, very dangerous combination. And we saw that because when he was fighting those two people, got his ass mopped.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Mimi to convince him, like, look, you need to attack and then we dip. If it wasn't for her telling him that, he probably would have tried to fight him and tried to win. And he wouldn't have.
Yeah, it's not looking like that. And I think it is because of that lack of confidence, though, in that moment. Because we do kind of spin back to that fight later on. And Garfield seems to be a little bit more devout or stern in his motion after being, I guess, inspired by the rest of the group and Subaru.
Yeah.
How did... Huh?
Yeah. Word for boss.
How do you feel about pulling up and seeing that the Archbishop of Lust was a full-blown dragon?
Weird. I felt weird about it. Like, what the fuck kind of authority is this? I don't understand the whole lust part of it. I was confused. And
I'm thinking, like, is this a transformable body? Because we see that their body can regenerate, right? Yeah, oh yeah. Do all kinds. Do they have control over that body in that regard to where it doesn't have to always be a dragon? Is this just like some kind of temporal form where it's not or incorporeal form where it can switch? This is what I'm thinking, because we know Greed was back in the day, which is like 100 years ago or some shit like that. I think they're all spirits. Okay. Petulgeese was a spirit. He became a archbishop after he, got the the fucking Witches of Sloths, thing. Right. And then we know that, well, we don't know that. This is still our speculation and we don't have any idea, but the chick that Emilia was fighting, we think that that's the other elf chick. We know the elves can live a long time, but she's also dead, so it also could be the spirit version of her, of some sort, being taken over by another, which is a authority thing. I think Pandora, with her magic power that she has, I think she just turned all these people that was either dead or dying or spirits or something like that, turned them all into that, and now they're kind of like, because they even mentioned, like, what they say about the chick Lust? They said she's supposed to be dead. Yeah, because she was. Yeah, they were mentioning her being dead or something like that. Like the whole royal family's dead because she has the name Lagunica, which is for those of you that don't remember, which is the name of the country that they're in. But they said that they're all dead. They're all supposed to be dead. So like, how is she alive? And I think it's because maybe she's a spirit. Pandora did something with her remains or some shit. I don't fucking know. I just know Pandora's a demon. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to even fathom about what the fuck is going on with them. However, I think Subaru running into gluttony right now is terrible. Oh, brother. I don't think it's good. I don't think he has the mental capacity to do this properly. No, because we can see him flashing back into Rem, like getting so angry that he's going to do something stupid. What's good is that, oh my God, what's so good about this episode is that they show him like starting to lose himself and then kind of reverting back and lose himself and reverting back from what he learned. His character growth within this past year and the previous seasons is showing that he's grown as a character, which a lot of people, when they talk about ReZero, when a lot of people talk about ReZero, they have a problem with. They have a problem with the fact that he, is slow to grow at the beginning. However, this time he's more, like you said, more calm and more capable, it seems. But I don't think in this situation he's gonna be able to hold back. Yeah, I think it's gonna be done. I was wondering the next death. Well, so here's the thing though, it's the same day, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I just feel like that's a lot. This is all happening in the span of like 45 minutes, bro. I don't need 3 more deaths right now. Yeah, because I don't think we have enough information to be ready. And we don't even know if he has a new save point or not now, too. I mean, this new save point could be the council meeting. We don't even know if he has one, though. Well, I'm saying it could be, and I'm only saying that because they got past that major moment with the other archbishops, essentially, to a point to where it was a little bit more like homeostatic. So I feel like if there's a save point, that's going to be it, which sucks because then just like he did in the previous one, he's jumping right back into the heat of things.
Yeah, I don't think.
I feel like he's not going to die.
Yeah, I think
that's what I'm saying.
I think the save point is still that 15 minutes, and I think he is going to die. And this is more of a hope, I guess, for me. But I hope he dies after he gains a little bit more knowledge. But that's a reason why I said I hate the fact that he met Gluttony right now. Like if he could just get a little bit more information about what Lust is up to. Well, we know what she's up to. She's up to get the remains of a witch somewhere, but
right, which that whole detail was crazy.
It was wild, yeah. So, it's kind of tough. What's his name? I'm normally good with names in ReZero because I actually got to pull it up now though.
Reed?
No, the guy that's on this Priscilla's night.
What is his name? Aldebaran.
Aldebaran, yeah. He said that. Whoa, did he say that? Somebody said that they think it's a witch of somebody else. Because at first they thought in the meeting they thought it was Envy, right? They thought it was Satella, but it was obviously not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm confused there.
I am too because they didn't give us a good look, and I tried to like get a good look, I paused it there, and I feel like we didn't get
Pride. It was the Witch of Pride.
I think that's what we started off with, though. That's what we were told in the beginning of the season.
Oh, that was Pride that was buried under there?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, but it's not her. Is it what you're saying?
I'm not sure because, like I said, I tried to pause, and I feel like we didn't get a good look on what the actual face looked like. Well, and I think if you kind of get a look at
to me the face kind of looked like Lust. Like the Sinner's Breach of Lust. It's kind of like it had the same hairstyle, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering.
To me it looked more like Wrath.
Oh,
not
Minerva.
Not the Archbishop. It looked like the Witch of Wrath. Yeah.
Minerva. Oh.
But I'm not sure. I feel like they told us it was Pride, but I feel like it was Wrath is what I saw. But I feel like we didn't get a good enough look.
No, we didn't. It could have been Wrath because her hair is tied up. So, wow, hold on. Might be onto something. Yeah, I like that. All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. This fight with Gluttony is going to be an interesting one. I think he's going to rush in and get mopped.
I hope not. I hope he's smarter than that.
Me too. And he has been, but it's him, Julius, right now, and Crush. So
yeah,
no.
Wilhelm
is down at the bottom. Yeah. So, shit. I don't. Oh God, it's gonna be a tough fight because I don't know who wins this.
Well, at least he's not solo.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think the jumping is the best case scenario.
Yeah, you gotta JJK him. You gotta get JJK'd. It's crazy how everybody in JJK just jump each other. Like it's never a fair fight. Yeah. Well, before the Shibuya incident, it was never a fair fight. Anyway, great episode. I'm loving this show so much. It's the best show of all time. So of course I am. Anyway, moving on to Bleach Talk. Now, this episode frustrated me a lot. Not a big fan of it. Didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because Ichigo theoretically should be 100 million times stronger than Uryu, even with some pieces of, the Quincy King in him, right? Or whatever they did to give him his power boost, whatever the fuck it is. I still think Ichigo should be 100,000 times stronger than Uryu. So for him not to be, and maybe Ichigo was holding back. No, not maybe. It was plain as day that Ichigo was holding back because Uryu was his friend. And it was just so shonen that it pissed me off.
Yeah. And that was the issue, right? Because they made the emphasis that it's clear that Ichigo's holding back. He didn't even want to hit him with the get to go Junsho. He literally tilted it so it would not hit him, right? Which he was trying to show his resolve. That's what Uryu was trying to make him do. And Uryu knows that Ichigo wasn't going to hurt him. I
just don't.
I get this feeling that it's going to be one of these double agent moments where Uryu really isn't working with with the Yawak, yeah, but he's just staying close, and that's why he didn't go for like a center mass shot and blow Ichigo's heart out his butthole, because he could have, right?
Yeah,
he didn't have to not do that.
And that's why the blonde haired dude staring at him from up top, because he's not entirely sure that he's 100% on the side of the Quincy King.
Right. Because that didn't make any sense. There's a lot of plot devices at play here that made this episode probably the least interesting of all of them so far.
110%. I thought you were going to disagree with me. Okay. Yeah, no.
Bro.
I feel the same exact way.
I instantly got irritated. I was like, first of all,
I was rolling my eyes and shit.
You have thrown hands with everybody. You're strong enough. You're strong enough to hold him off. You know what I mean?
You train with Squad Zero.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. You're strong enough to stop him from hurting you.
You train. You fought your Hawaka. I don't know.
Dude, go up in the sky, do his ultimate Quincy move, put Ichigo in a bubble, and then blow it up. And Ichigo's like, you just took the attack. You didn't even budge.
All very strange, isn't it? Yeah, however, there's still, like you said, plot devices everywhere, right? We didn't see a Bankai. We didn't see, like, there's just he could hollow quintify a full bring, and he could do all this shit still. And then you got Aizen is going to come save the day from, like, it's just so much predictable shit. However, I'm still excited to see it.
Yeah.
I'm still excited to see it all.
That's the thing, is that Bleach has a certain bag they get into, and when they're there. And I mean, as in, like, they do hit that note that almost no other show is kind of consecutively able to hit when it comes to this action shonen like impact, because they do bring the image, the audio, the choreography, and the fighting, which 100%. Like doesn't have to be like kung fu choreographed, which Dragon Ball Daima was feeling like that. It feels like there's just well thought out design in that aspect of the show. So when we get there, I know you ain't gotta even, I'm not gonna question it. I know it's gonna be good. Yeah, this episode just wasn't that.
Yeah, and
intentionally so, I guess
it might have been. Yeah, and the fact that it's just I think we said this when it came back the first time. I think it's the fact that Uryu was mainlining it. It just, his character sucks, and it's not new that his character always sucked. Like, it just, we said it during our Bleach talk a lot when we did our long form series. Like, he just always sucked as a character in Bleach.
He's a failure of an edgelord.
Yeah. Yes, he's a failure of a Sasuke, a failure of a a failure of a whatever. Typical shonen edgelord you wanted. He's a bad one.
He's trying twice as hard to be an edgelord just to show that he actually cares the whole time.
Right. It's pitiful, honestly.
Just care.
Yeah. It's a real bad. He's a real bad version of that character, and he's always has been. So it's disappointing, but for this to be the most disappointing episode, even though Bleach is still for me hidden.
It is, and I love I love that we get this last like 2 or 3 minutes every episode to kind of just fill in more context. That always just brings another smile to my face. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's like going to see a Marvel movie and not leaving the theater when the credits are going.
Yeah. You know what else was very satisfying?
What was that?
Was the way that when you give Studio Period time to do shit, they actually do a really good job.
It's crazy.
It looks so pretty. It's a pretty ass show.
That's true.
I had problems with it last time we were watching it because I had to watch it on the site that I had to sell the piracies for it because I didn't have access to Hulu before my mama hooked me up. But this time I do, and it's just it's a whole different world.
So the piracy.
Oh, and speaking of that too, I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm also about to get ready to start One Piece again. But I'm going to One Piece, which obviously the thing that chops it up a bit and makes it easier to watch.
After dropping some more from this season, because I ain't gonna lie to you, that healer might get dropped, brother.
Yeah, same, bro, same. Yeah, so
and I'm so disappointed.
So healer, and then probably if I feel like if Goodbye Dragon Life just don't give me something else next week, I'm probably drop those two and have a really nice slim list. And the slim list is still fucking 11 shows or something like that. But
I was gonna say I'm still gonna be at like 25.
It's crazy. Oh, this crazy life we live. Anyway, I'm at Polo Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Telliano on all social media. You
can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And as always, Mike Check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?